I'm under the Vegas lights, high stakes are on the line, and this is my shot at poker glory. The Celebrity Poker Tour is on, $15,000 is up for grabs, and the table is stacked with so many legends. I'm honored to get the invite, and they asked me to sign my name on the picture at the studio. We're playing in front of thousands of viewers, but that's not going to stop me today from making a deep run in one of the most action-packed poker events I've ever been a part of. We start ourselves off by looking down at the Cowboys here in Vegas, and I come in for a raise to 5K. Ray J calls, and Josie does as well. 3 ways to the flop, which comes 9-9 deuce. Normally I'd go for a bet, but the reason I'm checking here, well, I'll let you guys see what I've seen so far tonight out of Ray J.
Like Tai Chi. Like
oh, here we go again.
I checked the Tai Chi.
Ray J with the ace-4 gonna call the 3-bet to 15,000.
Game to gamble.
Ray J gonna get one through. Instead,
I don't like it.
Ray J blasting off with just 9 high.
So much for showdown.
Sure enough, check is not in his range. He fires out for 5K, which gets rid of Josie. We're heads up to the turn, which comes the 3 of hearts. Gonna check it over to Ray J once again. There's no way he checks behind, and sure enough, fires out for 10K, which I happily call. When the river brings an overcard, not exactly the best news against most players, but Ray J is just gonna have a bunch of random hands, so I'm gonna check it over to him once again, and I think that's the way to get the most money in the middle.
Is Ray J gonna try and take this thing away?
Tough spot, Ray J. I don't know what you should do here.
I'm trying to do the math on this thing.
I'm doing the POC on you right now.
You got to. You got to do the proof of concept, but I already did the POC on you, and you know what you're doing.
I know, so I already know what you're gonna do. Just do it though.
After a little bit of speech play, Ray J folds his cards. He could have just checked behind and maybe win sometimes with 6 high, but he folds. We're taking down the first hand of the night.
I had the king of hearts.
But Ray, at least check.
I almost forgot to mention that after a little bit of banter on Twitter, Vegas Matt and I settled on a friendly wager on who could last longer in today's event. If you don't already know Vegas Matt, he's one of the biggest content creators in YouTube slots. I wanted to give him plus 220, he wanted to do plus 300, we cut the difference at plus 250, which means if he lasts longer than me, he gets 7,500 real American dollars, and if I last longer than him, well, I'm taking $3,000 out of his bankroll. Enough about Matt and I's side bet. I know you guys want to see more of Ray J. He goes all in here with ace high against Princess Love, who calls him with second pair, and Ray J is going to be down to his last bullet. This time Ray J rips it all in with ace high again, and Princess Love makes another amazing call. She's going to win this 3 out of every 4 times, except for the fact of Lady Luck. Ray J spikes the turn and river, giving him 2 pair, and he doubles up. He's down to 89K and rips it all in and gets called by Aljamain Sterling with ace high. He sucks out once again, this time on the flop, giving him 2 pair on the river, and he doubles up again. But all that run good has to come to an end sometimes, and his queen 5 offsuit here from the button goes down in flames. Mincy takes it down with a pair of kings. After we say goodbye to our beloved Ray J, the table is not the same. I make it 15K to go here with king queen offsuit, and Princess Love decides to call with her jacks. Heads up to the flop, which is great for my range, ace, king, deuce, rainbow. I decide to go for a small bet, and she just puts in the call. When the turn comes to 6 of diamonds, I'm either way ahead or way behind. The action goes check, chuck, bringing in a board pairing 6 on the river. I decide to go for some thin value and fire out for 11K. She calls me with her jacks, and it seems like we made the maximum in that hand. Right, this next hand's fun. I look down at ace 9 of clubs from the button and raise it up to 20K. We're gonna get a bunch of action here from Princess Love and Tana. Both put in the call, and we're going 3 ways to the flop, which comes 10, 6, 5, 2 clubs. We flop ourselves the nut flush draw.
10, 6, 5 with 2 clubs. Wolfgang flops a flush draw. Tana with a pair of 6s.
Action checks over to me. It seems like a pretty good spot to go for a bet. I can get some better hands to fold, maybe like 5-4, maybe pocket 7s would fold to 1 bet, and after all, we just have ace high, so I fire out for 15K. Princess Love folds her cards, and now we're in a coin flip with Tana, who has ace 6 offsuit, and she decides to put in the call. It wasn't a fast call though, and I definitely picked up on that, so now I'm gonna try to run a bluff. When the turn comes a brick, I decide to rip it all in. 67,000 is the effective bet, and it's really just picking up on her indecisiveness on the flop. If she called a lot faster, I'd probably check behind here because it means she probably has a 10 or a pair she doesn't want to fold. When I rip it all in, she ends up folding her pair.
Oh no!
No! No!
Chipping up nicely, I show her the bluff. Look at her face.
It was a flush draw.
And a little precursor to the next hand, we flop 2 pair with ace 10 offsuit on an ace 10 8 board with 2 clubs. Action checks over to me. I decide to get tricky and check behind. I want players to bluff into me when I have a very strong hand. A little bit risky because they could spike a club and suck out on me, but when the action checks through on the 3 of spades turn, now I'm gonna go for some value. Tana just has king high and makes a good fold, and this 135k pot is all ours. My mudkip partner Josie over there decides to go all in with a6 offsuit, gets called in 2 spots, and Tana rivers 3 of a kind. And just like that, Josie is headed to the rails. Who's taking her spot? None other than Vegas Matt, who comes in hot, takes the cash out of his pocket, and slams it on the table. Pretty baller move there from him. We get some terrible news in this next hand. Remember, we want Vegas Matt to lose before us. He has pocket 4s and the flop comes 7-6-4. What's the opposite of a bang? I don't know, but that's definitely what it is. He has an 89% chance to win this. He somehow gets all the money in versus Mincy with 9-7 of hearts, and this 465k pot is shipped over to my neighbor, and that's about as worse of a start as I could have hoped for Vegas Matt.
And a devastating blow to Wolfgang. Look at him, he looks sick.
All right, it seems like he came to play, so I definitely have to get in there and chip up if I want any chance of not losing $7,500. Mincy rips it all in with Jack King off, and the action folds around to me. I pick up a premium, put in the call, and the flop comes pretty good for us. Well, hold your horses there. Now he picks up some additional outs. Any 8 or queen would give him a straight. A jack is obviously good for me. The turn comes the 3 of diamonds, and I make a plea to the poker gods and David Portnoy, who is Mincy's boss.
I love
Just
Miss
stay
Peaches,
alive.
but no queen, no 8, please.
Top.
4.
The 4 of diamonds comes off and 230k is shipped over to me. Mincy is out. He was a plus 300 favorite to take this down, so definitely a much needed improvement to my chip stack and taking out a good opponent as well. All right, let's get back to our bluffing ways in this next one. I look down at Jack 3 offsuit from the small blind. I put in the call and Princess Love defends from the big blind. We're going 3 ways to flop, which comes ace queen 4 all diamonds. I flop myself the jack high diamond flush draw. The action checks through on the flop, bringing the king of spades on the turn. No one seemed interested, so I'm going to try to take this down with a semi-bluff. Any 10 or diamond would probably give me the best hand, and I fire out small. Both players have a little bit of something here and they find the call. The river card gives me a pair coming the 3 of hearts, but I don't think when I get called in 2 spots on the turn, I'm ever going to be good here, which means I need to go for the bluff if I want any chance of winning this pot, which I do. I fire out for 90,000. Princess Love has just 9 high. She makes an easy fold. Algermain is in a tougher spot. Still, I think he has a pretty easy fold. Having the king of diamonds is important though because he blocks some flushes, but I think I'm just representing a better hand at this point. 2 pair flushes, maybe some sets or just a pair of aces. Still, he makes an insane call. That's why he's the champ. Puts it in there, and 345k is not getting shipped to me. We now get some crazy news. Tana and Vegas Matt are heads up in a big pot here. She checks the turn and he bets 100k. She decides to put in the call with her pair of 10s. The turn comes the 3 of diamonds and she's all in with him. Has him crush a 95% favorite, and the river card seals his fate. He's not eliminated because he had more chips, but he's definitely crippled, and that's great news for me. If you guys thought Ray J was hard to get rid of, well, you guys are going to want to check out this sequence from Algermain. First, he gets it in queen 3 of spades and spikes a queen against my ace high. In this next hand, he gets it in good with ace 3 of clubs versus Princess Love's 9-7 off. He ends up holding and doubles up once again. Princess Love's fed up with it and tries to bluff him with Jack 8 off. He somehow finds the correct bluff with Queen 8 off, which is somehow the best hand as well, and gets her to fold. This transitions nicely into the 20k, 40k blind level when Princess raises it to 80k. Algermain goes all in for his last 40k with pocket 5s, and the action folds around to me. I look down at a premium because why not? The poker gods are on my side. I rip it all in with the ladies, pocket queens, and Princess Love finds the call with Jack Queen offsuit.
Oh, this is a disaster for Princess Love.
We're in a great spot here to basically double up versus Princess Love and eliminate a player in Algermain Sterling. The flop comes queen 4-6, bang, we flop top set.
Queen 6-4.
Sterling thinks he's in trouble, but I kindly inform him that he has some backdoor ideas.
What do you mean by that?
And of course, I shouldn't have said that. The 3 of spades peels off on the turn. Even though I can't lose to Princess Love, I still am losing 19% of the time to Sterling, who spikes the river, the 7 of hearts. He is so hard to get rid of tonight. A 680k pot is going to get divided, mostly to me, a little bit to Sterling. He's up to 140k now in his stack. Alright, I had fun in that three-way in the last one. Blind levels are now 25k, 50k. I make it 100k to go. Princess Love goes all in for 250. Algermain puts in the call, and I had so much fun in that threesome last hand that I decided to come in as well, see if I can knock out both opponents. We all have around a 30% chance of winning. The flop brings me up to 54%. The turn is great for me as well on the deuce of diamonds, and just like that, I'm gonna win with my ace high, 375k worth of profit. But better than that is we knock out two opponents, and now we're three ways with Tana and Vegas Matt. I'm loving the way this night has transpired. I have 900k in my stack. I still have that side bet with Matt, but he only has 150k in his. I raise it to 100k pre-flop versus Tana. She's in the big blind with ace queen suited. Flop comes jack 8-8. I go for a small bet and she calls. The turn comes the 8 of hearts and the action goes check check. When the river comes the 4 of clubs, I think the only way I can win this versus a small pair and some ace high is to go for a bet. If she calls, well, she just outplayed me. If she folds, we're gonna take down a nice sized pot. I put her to the test. That's what poker's all about, putting your opponents in tough spots. You can see here, she does not love calling with ace high. She ends up folding, and that's a massive pot over to me. Vegas Matt finally picks up a hand he's comfortable going all in with. It's ace king offsuit, and Tana calls with jack 10 suited.
She'll make the call, and here we go. Vegas Matt all in at risk.
Vegas Matt is a 60% favorite to win it here, and I don't love it on a 9-9-7 board. She picks up a gutter to an 8 though. When the turn comes the deuce of diamonds, she's only about a 23% chance to win until the river comes the 10 of spades. Bang! She rivers a pair. Vegas Matt smiles, but I know he's hurting inside. I pick up the camera for the extra needle because we're taking down $3,000 from Vegas Matt, ship it over to me, and now we're heads up with Tana. Let's go.
We'll put this, you know what, we're gonna do some table games and some slots tonight.
All right, we'll go to Resorts World later on.
Well played, Matt.
Thanks, bro. That was fun.
That was fun.
We locked up $5,000 for at least getting second place in the tournament. Add that with our $3,000 last longer side bet with Matt, we already have $8,000 locked up, but I have my sights set on that championship belt and the 10K up top. Here's the thing, if you guys aren't familiar with heads up, you have to play a bunch of crappy hands and be comfortable doing it. So immediately I know I have to ramp up the aggression and put her in some tough spots. I end up winning pot after pot after pot, all pre-flop by putting in more money than she's willing to do. We went from a 1 million to 750k advantage to now a 1.3 to 500k advantage all pre-flop. We finally see a flop here with 6 deuce offsuit flop bottom pair. The turn is great for me on the 6 of spades. Life isn't fair sometimes, and we go for a little bit of thin value on the river, which she calls, and now we have a 1.5 to 275k advantage. She gets in there with king 10 suited and flops herself to overcard. She has me in pretty rough shape until the river card comes the queen of clubs.
The river is a queen.
You've got to be kidding.
Wolfgang gets there again.
Jeff Platt knows it. It's pretty tough when you're hitting cards as well. I bet 125k and she can't hold on. Tana's not doing so hot, and her poker coach, Princess Love, comes out and gives her some advice to stop folding so much and show some aggression. Even though that might not be allowed, I'm definitely all for it. I don't want to win in like 10 hands. I'd like to have a little bit of action and play against her and try to prove to everyone that I am the Celebrity Poker Tour champion. It seems like that coaching was well timed. She now rips it in with king 6 offsuit. I can't imagine she would have done that before. I call with an offsuit king as well, and now we're off to 5 cards and 150k pot. She flops me almost dead on a 6 deuce deuce board, and I immediately say that we're on to the next hand.
Okay then.
You're good. She's got it. She's got it. Next hand.
After doubling her up, we get it in 7-4 off versus queen 7 off. A 300k pot is essential for her to win if she wants to stay in the tournament, but look at this flop.
Just no 4. Oh no, he flops a straight!
Oh no!
Wolfgang flops a straight!
Not like this.
Bang, we flopped the straight, but in real time I've had way too many drinks and I don't realize I flopped the nuts. In the moment I'm thinking she's still good with her queen high and I'm trying to call for cards that'll help me improve. The turn and river are no good for Tana, but look at my face. I'm stoic. I don't think I've won. How crazy is that? Don't drink, you guys, while playing poker, because this is what happens. Although I did just flop the nuts and win the Celebrity Poker Tour. A little bit of funny table stuff going on where I put the chips in her hand because I think she won, and the dealer not giving any more cards for the next hand. I finally realize I have won $10,000. I go crazy. Algermain comes over, we take a picture, and now it's time for the interview with Blake. I've played in 3 CPTs now, and I finally take one down. End up taking down $10,000 for first place, plus the additional $3,000 off of Vegas Matt for a grand total of $13,000. It was an awesome experience. Huge shout out to Blake and everyone at the CPT. Tana, I'm gonna play you heads up again in the future, and this time, please put up more of a fight. If you guys like this video from the CPT, be sure to click on a few more that are on your screen right now. Good luck on the felt as always, you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!